I want to help sick people around the world with IPS cells, says Dr. Yamanaka. He is working hard to fulfill his ambition. From him, we learned that we can fulfill our ambitions if we have vision and work hard. Many Japanese doctors have visited foreign countries to help sick people, and saved many lives there. This is the story about one of them. Dr. Hosoe Shizuo was born in a small village in the mountains of Gifu in 1901. When he was a child, his village had no doctor. When someone was sick, people had to walk over the mountains to find a doctor. Sick people often died before the doctor arrived. To save people's lives, he hoped to become a doctor. In 1930, Shizuo graduated from the university in Tokyo. He was going to return to his village to work as a doctor, but his teacher's words changed his mind. His teacher said, "Why don't you go to the largest village without a doctor? It needs your help." The largest village without a doctor meant Brazil. At the time, there were more than 80,000 Japanese immigrants there, and many of them lived in towns or villages without a doctor. After thinking carefully, he decided to go there. After 45 days on a ship, Shizuo arrived at Brazil. He went to a village named Bastos. About 1,000 people lived there without a doctor, and many Japanese immigrants were among them. The village was in a forest, and it was always very hot. There were also many other villages without a doctor near Bastos, and many people were suffering from yellow fever or dysentery. He quickly started to visit them. He wanted to take care of everyone who was sick, but it was not easy. He didn't know the language spoken in Brazil. He learned it to talk with the people who are not Japanese. Also, many people were poor and didn't have the money for a doctor. He didn't ask for any money from them. In these ways, he was able to take care of more sick people around Bastos. He was always considerate of all the people living there, so he was loved by them. One day, Shizuo caught yellow fever. People in the village worried about him because many people died from yellow fever at that time. They gave him fruits and vegetables and hoped he would get well soon. He had to stay in bed for 3 months, but thanks to their help, he got well. Shizuo continued to help sick people in Brazil, but after a few years, he had a big problem. The problem was that the laws about doctors were changing in Brazil. The new laws said that doctors had to graduate from a university in Brazil to work there. He wanted to keep working as a doctor, so he went to a university there for 6 years. After graduating, he was happy to start helping sick people as a doctor again. When he was 40 years old, Shizuo opened a hospital. Other doctors worked there with him, and his daughter also became a doctor and joined them. Even after he opened the hospital, he continued to visit the sick people who lived in the mountains for more than 6 months each year. He traveled around Brazil for more than 40 years and took care of more than 100,000 people. He died in 1975. Shizuo didn't work as a doctor in his village in Japan, but he helped a lot of sick people in Brazil. In a school in his village in Japan, there is calligraphy written by him. It is a message from him to young Japanese. He wrote only one word, and the word was ambition.